speaker, Madame Kumpula Natri from S&D.
Here. Hello. Madame Goulard, we are counting on your work on the European digitalization, and we need fast connection and 5G throughout Europe to create jobs, prosperity in Europe, and fight climate change. So we need to avoid digital gap in between the areas and among people, and new frontier technologies as AI is crucially needed. I hope you will see a role for regulation in digital economies to secure competition, to avoid digital gap, to secure privacy, and to secure workers and consumers. Not always market alone can do this. I have two questions. Are you unconditionally willing to promote rollout of fast connection on fiber and 5G for everyone and everywhere, and create trust in digitalization also for consumers and workers? And the second small question on behalf of the Europeans. Will you propose new regulation on roaming and international calls that was regulated last term and will be over in a few years if your answer is no?
Thank you, Mrs. Kumpula Natri. Madame Goulard.
Madame la députée.
Thank you, Madame. On 5G, there's no doubt the Commission has decided, fully committed to try and equip our countries with 5G. It'd be very important for our businesses and citizens. This needs to be done in accordance with all the necessary public health rules, and everything needs to be evaluated. But digital divide is still an important issue. If you live in areas that are further out geographically, we feel we're geographically isolated, but the internet service can also lead to a feeling of isolation. 60% of European households in the past few years had a high-speed internet connection, and so that's not enough. It's difficult to roll this out at times, but we do need to achieve this. European approach will be based on the code for investment in this area, obviously taking into account competition rules as well. There will be funding. 3 billion is already made available for Connecting Europe facility to ensure coverage of the key socioeconomic actors, schools, hospitals, etc., and also around the internet interconnectivity corridors, which are very important. I also found out about this initiative about mayors offering free Wi-Fi. There's specific support from the European Union. That's a good initiative as well. Now, on international charges, I think everything that we've done with roaming in Europe has been appreciated. That's students, hauliers, moving people. So people really do appreciate it. So we need to look at what can be done. We'll take the necessary measures so that continues. We can all continue with the benefit of roaming. Now, for the time being, I do have to say I'll have to look at the issue in more detail before going back to you with a more specific response.
For follow-up.
Political commitment is, of course, most important at this phase. Dear Commissioner-Designated, you are proposed to lead 3 DGs, internal market, industry, SME, space, defense, digital. And we really need digitalization to take a good track in Europe, because at the moment we are losing in the most important sectors. If I read a figure of that less than 3% of the applications, devices, equipment, enterprise applications and platform systems are created by Europeans, that will benefit our jobs and our well-being also as a form of taxes and so on. So I ask if you share the worry, and a very concrete, how many days of your week, which is only maybe 7 or 5 days, depends your working hours, are you going to spend on DG Connect? How many on DG Space, and how many in DG Grow?
Madame Goulard.
C'est une question délicate.
Well, this is a sensitive issue. Again, This portfolio may seem huge, but there's obviously 2 DGs and another one that we need to set up. So we've got, there's not 3 DGs yet. Now, what's clear is that you said it yourselves, with digitisation, we run the risk here in Europe to be left behind by other countries. Digital, obviously, that needs a lot of attention. I can't give you a specific proportion here today. It would just be an abstract answer. What is clear is that I am deeply convinced that digitisation of our economy needs to benefit, industry needs to take into account culture. We need to look at how we combine that with the Green Deal as well. It's inconceivable that businesses become green and that digitisation is done separately. They go hand in hand. So I can only give you an abstract answer. What is clear is that I've never been afraid of a bit of a hard work. I'll be based here in Brussels. I've got some excellent people behind me. If you look at how long people have been working in the Commission in the past few days, well, don't tell the enforcement people because we're going over the directive.
Or to my